first, hello to everybody this evening, and thank you for joining. But I just want to remind everyone to keep your mic muted when you're not speaking. And if you're interested in seeing this, whether it's a speaker view or gallery view, there's an icon or something that might be said, right? Speaker view at the top of your the right side of your screen at the top, and you can toggle back and forth. With that said, I am going to turn this over to Miss Janice Crawford.
I was saying it's so nice to see all of you. I wish we were at the Wentworth having a grand old time going through the silent auction, which you all can find by going on to MWVCC.org. And it's right there over to the left. You'll see the link to the annual meeting. Or you can go to MWVannualmeeting.com and then click on the silent auction link. I've already been on there. I've already been outbid on 2 of my bids at the highest level. So I'm gonna let those people keep it. But there's some great things. And the one thing I wanna make sure you do is when you see a gift basket, click on it because it will give you a description of everything that's in there. And there's a lot of gift certificates in there as well from the White Mountain Independence or from Valley Originals or other folks who have given us gift certificates. So you aren't going to want to miss it. There's some great items there, lots of decorative items that you could use in your business or in your home. They'd make great Christmas presents or gifts. So be sure to go on and check that out. The other thing we don't want you to miss is this year our program is the Essential Guide to Mount Washington Valley Business, People, and Places. And it is online. You will be able to link to that at MWVannualmeeting.com. It is going to stay live for indefinitely because we're going to continue to add things to it that will be of interest to you as we continue down this pandemic path we're in. And we will, of course, continue to send out our weekly update as well. So be sure to check those 2 things out. And now I want to introduce to you our president, Christopher Bellis.
Thank you, Janice. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's great to see everyone, at least in this virtual format. I miss the ability to kind of walk around. Just to add to Janice's talk, I want to say that the auction items are going to be on auction until November the 2nd, and we haven't identified exactly what time on that day it's going to end, but I'm going to assume it's midnight, November 2nd. But so you have time and you can share that link with others so that they can also bid on items. So if there's something you want, you can say, hey, I want number 7 and send it to your closest friends and have them bid on it for you so that they buy it for you. But the other thing that's listed on that site when you click on there is Stay Mount Washington Valley is doing a 50-50 raffle this evening. And that means, you know, you buy a certain number of tickets and you get entered into a raffle and you could leave this event a much richer person, especially if they hit their goal. Their goal is $1,500 in sales for the 50-50 raffle. And so that means you could walk away with $750 at the end of the evening. So all it takes is to buy a ticket. So I'd encourage you all to go on there and buy a ticket. So I do want to say, I want to thank our sponsors for this evening's event, virtual event. Those event sponsors include Chalmers Insurance Group and Patriot Insurance, Eastern Propane and Oil, Northeast Delta Dental, and Memorial Hospital Maine Health. And I'd also like to thank our chamber sponsors, including our platinum sponsors, including the Valley Originals and Mount Washington Radio Group. Our year this year has definitely been one of challenges, but also successes. But with COVID-19, we've learned, all of us have learned how to operate our businesses differently. And we've discovered, I think, that no matter how difficult the challenges, we will always survive and thrive. So I congratulate all of you for having made it thus far, and we'll continue to work through the challenges. and I know that many of you are continuing to experience challenges or roadblocks or need counsel or advice in the months and years to come. And I just, and the rest of the board, want to assure you that the chamber staff and volunteers are here for you whenever you need them. Thank you for your support as members of the chamber and as citizens of the Mount Washington Valley. I'd now like to bring your attention, now we have to get to the business of the meeting, bring your attention to the annual meeting minutes from our last meeting when we were at the Wentworth Hotel last year. It's in your essential guide on page 9. So if you go to MWV annualmeeting.com, find the essential guide and go to page 9 of the essential guide, we're going to approve the minutes from the last year's meeting. So first I need to have a motion from the floor to approve the minutes. So, and then I'll need a second.
I'll motion.
That's Danielle for the first. Do I have a second?
I can
I second it.
Chuck Lloyd seconds. So now I'd like you to ask everybody as members if you would approve the minutes as stated in the essential guide. Please just put a thumbs up in your screen to indicate that you are approving the minutes as indicated. So everybody put your thumbs up so that way we can say that everybody voted. Normally, if we were in the room, we'd have our hands up, we'd be waving around, all that sort of stuff. So it looks like our minutes from the last meeting are approved. Thank you very much. So now I'd like to bring your attention to the 2019-2020 financials, which are found on pages 11 and 13 of the essential guide. So that's just a couple more pages from where you were. And I think Chris McKay, are you with us?
Anyone have any questions on the financials?
If you do have any questions, just unmute your microphone and speak out. So I think we have no questions, Chris.
Yeah, so just overall, with the current pandemic, the chamber was able to reduce staffing and to cut costs. And throughout the pandemic, we were able to control those costs as our revenue declined, specifically marketing and the JPP matching funds. So that, so we were able to maintain a solid financial position at the end of the fiscal period based off of those changes that we made in early March.
So I'd like to ask for a motion from the floor to accept the financials as indicated on pages 11 to 13 of the essential.
So moved.
Tom Caruso moves second. Heather Clement.
Got it.
All right, and all those in favor of approving the financials as listed, please put your thumbs up in the window so that we can see it. All right, everybody got their thumbs up? Great. Thank you, everybody. Well, now the hard work is done, and now we can have fun for the rest of the night. But I'd like to take the opportunity at the moment to just introduce a couple of people to you. I'd like to welcome Catalina Celentano from Eversource, who recently joined the board. She took an open seat, which had become available when John Green resigned, because his job at Eversource has moved to the southern part of New Hampshire. So welcome, Catalina.
Thank you. Very happy to be here.
Great. And I'd also like to take this opportunity. I'm at the near the end of my 2-year term as president, and I want to thank the board of directors for all of their work and for their efforts on behalf of the chamber, who I've very much appreciated working with in my 6 years at the chamber. I'm also very thankful for the efforts of those who served on the executive committee with me, including Chuck Lloyd, Tom Caruso, and Andy Pierce. And I just want to welcome Tom Caruso of Northway Bank as the incoming president of the chamber. So you will see him next year in this role. And Rob Clark, of Trails End and the Recycle Mobile, plus other businesses, as the incoming vice president of the chamber. And just to mention, Chris McKay, who went over the financials with you, of Leone, McDonnell, and Roberts, is also going to be continuing as treasurer for the coming year. We will have an open seat on the board soon as I get off the board. And then there'll be an open seat. So if you or anyone you know are interested in applying to become a board member, please submit an application. You can get an application either by calling the chamber offices or going to the website, and there's a link to the form that you can fill out on the website as well. It's truly wonderful to be able to support the businesses of the community and to give back. So I'd encourage each of you to consider becoming a board member if you're not already a board member. It's a rewarding experience and you will not regret serving with these great people. And another one of those great people is our next speaker, Janice Crawford, truly a fixture of the Mount Washington Valley and the Chamber of Commerce for many years. She had, to be honest with you, visions of retirement in 2020, which I am happy to report that I was able to convince her not to retire and to help us move through this COVID-19 pandemic. And she is doing a fabulous job navigating through these very challenging times, and actually has lots of PPE that she wants to help hand out to all the businesses in the Valley. But Janice, thank you for your tireless efforts on behalf of the Mount Washington Valley. We have all benefited from your work. So Janice, on to you.
Thank you for those compliments, Christopher, but I would never be able to do it without Michelle Cruz and Lisa Eastman and Paula Jones and Rebecca Miller, who do I see Rebecca here? So I want to thank them because they've really pulled it together for this meeting and for the whole year since we decided we needed to close down in March. So thank you, ladies. I really, truly appreciate it. And to Paula, the reason I don't have my background on is because it wouldn't work on my computer. It's lovely, and I just don't get to have it. That's the way that goes. Oh, wonderful, Jessica's here. But before we go on to Jessica, I do want to recognize some folks. I want to recognize Ed Butler is in the audience, our outgoing representative. Ed, where are you? You were there a minute ago. I am sad that Ed is not running. He's been a wonderful representative. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's been a wonderful representative for our community for 12 years, I think it is. So I'm going to miss being able to talk to him about things that are going on and get his great advice. But I'm sure he'll still be able to lead me down the right path to reach out to people. And our executive counselor, Michael Cryans, he's there with his hat on. Does your hat say vote Cryans? Oh, Cryans, okay. Thank you so much for attending. I really appreciate it. And I've got some of my colleagues in. I won't go through them, but they're very kind to have joined us from the Dover Chamber and the White Mountains region and that sort of thing. I'd also like to recognize Victoria Laracy, who's representing Congressman Pappas for us. Saw him just last week. And Ben is here for Senator, just went right out of my head. It's time for me to, Hassan, thank you. Senator Hassan, thank you, Ben, for being here. And I think I saw Chuck. Chuck represents Senator Shaheen. So I think we're all looking forward to the end of the election, and hopefully we will have all of the right people in the right seats to continue to work for us here in the state of New Hampshire. So with no further ado, I would like to introduce a young lady that's been part of my life since 2015 when she took leadership. And she has been a real go-getter since that time. She helped to create the student debt assistance program and has been managing to raise money for that for the last 5 years. So with no further ado, I'll turn it over to you, Jessica Wright.
Thank you, Janice. All
Here
right.
she is.
You can hear me okay, right? One of the things that we've all battled with this year is trying to understand the bandwidth with the video and the sound and the meeting. So I think I finally figured it out. It's almost November, so I'm doing okay. Thanks for having me tonight. I think the first thing I always want to do is say thank you to the Chamber board and staff for your constant support over the years. I don't know where we would be without you, so thank you. As Jana said, my name is Jessie Wright. I'm the chair of StayMWV, our region's young professional organization. And as many of you know, StayMWV was born in the halls of leadership, Mount Washington Valley, which is a program of the Chamber. So we really owe all the work we've done to bringing young minds together in that class. So thank you to both the Chamber and the Economic Council for having the foresight to know that having a leadership program is essential in keeping young people here. And one of the other things that we have deemed essential over the years is addressing the issue of the student debt crisis and how it particularly affects rural small towns. We know that people can make more money in Portland or Boston or Portsmouth for a long period of time and then move back to the Valley. But that leaves a gap of folks who are between, say, 25 and 35, who are vital to fill really important jobs here. And through many discussions in our leadership class, we landed on this idea of a student debt scholarship. We saw all this money going out to young high school kids as they're leaving college or leaving high school and leaving the Valley to go get themselves into debt. But what if we flipped that idea on its head and brought, when those folks moved back to the Valley, were able to pay back some of their student debt as a student debt type of scholarship. And so we ran with it. And 5 years later, here we are. And we've had great success and amazing response and have given out over $65,000, which is amazing to think about paying that money back to Sallie Mae and having $65,000 back in the pockets of young professionals so they can buy furniture and put deposits down on homes or quit their second jobs and coach skiing through ESSC. And we're really, really happy to have continued that this year, despite the pandemic. Now, typically we would have a grand old party at a leadership graduation and celebrate these young people who are doing such amazing things in our region. But instead, we decided to have it at the annual meeting, which is now virtual. So Michelle has agreed to share some the photos and names of the 8 folks that were chosen this year to receive over $15,000 in student debt. And these young folks are impressive. They are movers and shakers across the Valley from Jackson to Freiburg, and they're working in all different kinds of industries, which we're really proud of. Again, we weren't able to be in person, but if you see these folks in the Valley, congratulate them because they're doing some really cool things. They're coaching skiing and coaching soccer, working for the Forest Service, working in our schools, doing real estate for us. So we're really, really proud of them. And I just can't, from the bottom of my heart, thank our partners enough. We have the support of Kiwanis and the Mountain Garden Club, the Conway Area Lions Club, the Chalmers Insurance, and Rotary. And without their support, I think our momentum wouldn't have caught on. So thank you all. If any of you know anybody in those organizations, please say thank you for helping us with this work. And lastly, I will just say that this year coming is going to be just as important as the years in past. Somebody said to me the other day, well, aren't student loans stopped for this year because, COVID? And I said, no, in fact, we're still raising money because there's some really important work to do. Lots of young folks in our community lost their second jobs in hospitality this year. Lots of young folks in our region are still paying those student loans because they're private. The federal government could only stop student loans that are federally funded. And so often these private loans have predatory interest rates. They are in 7, 8, 9% loans that we took out when we were 18, and they're through Discover. So the work is still very much here to be done, and I would audaciously ask you to support this work through a 50-50. Normally on the annual meeting, I would be shoving raffle tickets in your face, but I don't get to do that today. What we have is our treasurer has set up an amazing Excel spreadsheet to track all this stuff. And if you go to givebutter.com/StayMWV, you'll be able to buy 1, 2, 20, 30 tickets if you'd like. And we're going to populate an awesome Excel sheet and have a random number picked by the end of the night. So I would appreciate your support and helping keep young folks here in the Valley. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. We really appreciate your efforts and the efforts of the StayMWV program, because it has become such an essential part of the Mount Washington Valley. Thank you very much. And I would encourage everybody to either go to that givebutter.com/ I think it was StayMWV, or you can go to MWV annualmeeting.com, and there's a link on that page that will take you to that same other page. I can see on there that they've already sold $700 worth of raffle tickets. So that means the winner tonight is going to get at least $350, but everybody should get onto that site and buy their more tickets right now so we can get up to their goal of $1,500. Remember, all of this money is going to support the StayMWV program, and it's desperately needed because the young people in the Valley, as Jessica just said, are desperately in need of second jobs and other things in order to pay their very expensive student loans. So thank you, Jessica. So I would now like to take the opportunity to introduce Sarah Eastman, who is going to be presenting the Steve Eastman Community Service Award. Sarah?
Thank you, Chris. It gives me great pleasure to co-present this year's Community Service Award in my late husband's name. Each year, Tom and I discuss who would be appropriate to receive this award. Someone who loves his community like Steve did and gives back to the Valley, oftentimes in fun ways. Brian and Kathy Ahern epitomize this every day. Their passion and love for both the animals and their owners is evident the minute you enter the store. I'll never forget the day I went into For Your Paws Only with my 10-week-old golden retriever, Aspen, in my arms to check out the store. It was a Saturday morning at their original location, and it was quite crowded. Brian turned to me as I entered, looked down at Aspen, and practically ran over to meet this furry bundle of joy. He took Aspen in his arms and wanted to know all about where I got her. Over the next 11 years, Aspen and I took dog obedience classes, and she was not the top dog in the class, I have to confess. We talked about dog food brands, we attended puppy parties, had our portrait taken with Santa, and finally, I shared the sad news of her passing. When you are a For Your Paws Only customer, you become part of their family. Brian and Kathy and the staff at For Your Paws Only give back to the Valley in so many ways, and their commitment and caring are the qualities that have made them successful. Thank you for all you do to create happier pets, more knowledgeable pet owners, and a fun-loving and enriched community. Thank you. Tom, would you like to say something?
I just wanted to say that when I think of how much Steve had fun with business while being a community leader, I think the Aherns with their pet hours and everything, their play groups, I think it's just, they epitomize that spirit of having fun while you're giving back to the Valley. And I'm so happy that they're here in our Valley these past, 26 years?
Yeah.
Now I hand it over to Brian and Kathy.
Well, first we want to Sarah and Tom, thank you so much. We're honored to get this award with Steve's name on it. We know what Steve meant to this valley, and like I said, we're honored to be spoken in the same sentence as his name. So, with that saying, it was a shock when Tom came and told us. Took some pictures, and we were extremely happy about it. When we first opened here, it was more of a let's do something for us. Let's get out of the city and open a business. But as soon as we got to the valley, we realized from a very smart person in a realtor's office that you have to get involved with your home here. You can't just be a business and not be involved with the valley and not be involved with your community. So we took that to heart. Everything we did in our store, we tried to revolve it around the community and around the people who were coming in and supporting us. And I've said for years, if you support us, we'll support you. We really live by that. And this was it was an easy area to support. I mean, this valley they took us in, they came immediately, started, shopping in our store and getting involved with us and our animals. And Sarah, I still think about Aspen every day. She's the reason I have golden retrievers. Actually, I went and got my own, as Sarah told me, go get your own. So I have two from the same breeder under my feet right now playing. So that's what, when we got involved with this community, we found it very easy to give back because they gave to us. If anything from supporting the local shelters, we try to do that as much as we can. We do rescue for animals stuck on trails. 3-4 times a summer we've been out. Anything animal related, we try to help. And then other things that aren't animal related. In the past, we supported the football. Bigler's one of them now. We supported the football team. We supported the theaters, the theater programs, all the sporting events that my son was involved in. We supported all those also. So it's like I said, it's a very easy community to get involved with, and we love doing it. There's nothing more we love than doing it, including the community and what in our events and what we do at the store.
Thank you.
So thank you again. We cannot. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian and Kathy, and congratulations. Thank you, Sarah and Tom, for your introduction and for presenting the award. So now I have the opportunity to introduce a video that was done by Art Mathisen.
Hello, I'm Art Mathisen, and I have the privilege to be president of Memorial Hospital here in North Conway, and the honor to present this evening's White Mountains Treasure Awards. The White Mountains Treasure Awards recognizes individuals in the Mount Washington Valley who have given a lifetime of time and talent to the valley and demonstrated by commitment and example that success is not measured by what they accomplish in life for themselves, but by what they do for others in the community. Tonight, there are two individuals who have been nominated by their colleagues and peers and selected by the Chamber of Commerce as White Mountains Treasures. First, it is my pleasure to honor Amanda McDonald as a White Mountains Treasure. Mandy is the family liaison for Conway Elementary School. She recognizes what many may not be aware of, that food insecurity is increasing in our community. Mandy realized that many of the Valley's children were suffering from weekend food insecurity, not knowing where the next meal is coming from between lunch in school on Friday and breakfast in school on Monday. Mandy organized the Conway chapter of End 68 Hours of Hunger, a program that puts nourishing food in the hands of school children to carry them through the weekend. The program relies entirely on volunteer efforts, and every dime goes directly to purchasing food. The program currently serves 160 students from local schools and helps supply food closets at Kennett Middle School and High School, and summer programs at Conway Elementary School. There is a great deal of work behind the scenes, shopping for food, unloading it to storage, then making individual bags for students. Mandy does it all, from fundraising to speaking engagements, coordinating volunteers, and packing and delivering food bags throughout the Mount Washington Valley. In addition to her role with End 68 Hours of Hunger, Mandy goes above and beyond in her position as family liaison for Conway Elementary School. Mandy is a lifeline for parents and their students, helping them locate and navigate area services available to them. And she is known as a support to her fellow staff members. Mandy does all this with a quiet demeanor. She seeks no accolades and gives credit to everyone working with her. So now she receives at least one accolade. Mandy is a true Valley treasure. Next, we honor Karen Dolan in the Mountain Meisters program at Cranmore. Our ski culture is a key to our region's success as a four-season destination. The Mountain Meisters provide an opportunity for locals to have fun on the slopes and improve their mountain skills while deepening their relationship with one another and the community. The Mountain Meisters at Cranmore is one of the oldest community ski race leagues in the country. On most Wednesdays through the winter, you can see teams comprised of hundreds of racers of all skill levels competing on the slopes for their teams and for themselves. Racers are divided into divisions of other racers with similar skills, so everyone has a chance to contribute to their team and to improve their abilities. For more than 3 decades, Karen Dolan has played a key role in leading this program. As Director of Snow Sports at Cranmore, Karen has been responsible for growing this incredible program. You can usually see her out with the skiers helping to get Wednesday races going. Behind the scenes, she makes certain all is ready from the timing hunt to course layout and safety. The Mountain Meisters demonstrates great community spirit while encouraging exercise and achievement. The Meisters have also helped raise awareness and funds for community causes, including Jen's Friends and the Ian Reserve Melanoma Awareness Foundation. Congratulations to Karen Dolan, Cranmore, and the participants in the Mountain Meister program for this well-deserved recognition. Thank you. I just want to say congratulations to Karen and Mandy. Thanks for this opportunity of allowing me to talk to you today. On behalf of the hospital, we appreciate everyone's support in this great community that we have, and make sure as much as you can to wear your mask, socially distance, and do what we all need to do to get this virus out of this valley and out of this state, and hopefully out of this country real soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and I think Karen is with us.
Thank you all very much for nominating me for this special award. It is very dear to my heart that I love the job I'm in, so I have the ability to provide fun all the time to people and have a lot of fun doing it. I've always worked at the ski area and always taught skiing. My other favorite organizations are also Junior Ski Program and Eastern Slope Ski Club, that I spend many hours in my week working. But it's great to get all the kids out on the hill. We're trying really hard to make that happen this winter. The schools have a lot of challenges to make it overcome, but we met with them last night and we kind of gave them some ideas how we think we can do it safely. So I'm excited to bring that. And Mountain Meisters will be happening this year. We're a little slow getting it all organized because we have so many other things to figure out as we move into winter. But we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Meisters this winter. So stay tuned and thank you all so much.
Thank you and congratulations, Karen. And then I believe Mandy is with us as well.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much. I was hoping to speak off the cuff, but I knew I'd be nervous. I already have hives. So I wrote a little something, so I'm going to read that if that's okay. And thank you, Art. That was a beautiful introduction. I'm so honored to be a recipient of the White Mountain Treasure Award. I never imagined that when I brought the N68 Hours of Hunger program to Conway Elementary School in February of 2014 that it would be where it is today. After researching many weekend food bag programs, what I loved most about N68 is that it's a real grassroots program by food, which all stays in the Valley. I started small, wanting to make sure it would be sustainable and that local businesses and groups would support it. We now pack over 155 bags every week. Bags are delivered on every Friday to all the schools in SAU 9, SAU 13, Conway Area Head Start, Robert Frost Charter School, and Children Unlimited. We realized there was a stigma with the older students. They didn't want to be given a bag in the hallways on their way out of school. So we created the food closets, which have been really nice, and students can access those as needed, and it's given them a little bit more choice and voice in what they take. My volunteers are truly at the heart of the program, and they're what keep it running at such a high level. I literally could not do it without each and every one of them. My two biggest shout outs go to Kathy Baker and my mom, Gail Jones. Kathy does all our financials and our bookkeeping, and my mom does all the shopping and ordering. They're both extraordinary. I'd also like to thank all the packers and delivery volunteers. 2 times a month, I have a group from the Journey Church, which is led by Kim Zip, and they come in and pack, and they do inventory and breakdown, cardboard, and fill bins and all sorts of things like that. And then I have the women from the Carroll County Altrusa that come in once a month, and a group from the Unitarian Universalist Church that also come in once a month. Then I have a crew from Cranmore led by Megan Nelson, and they're always kind of waiting in the sidelines if I'm in a pinch. The one more thank you I'd like to give is to one of my steady delivery guys, Bill Manley. He's been with me for 6 years. Every Friday he shows up and delivers to John Fuller Bartlett in Jackson. So thank you again for choosing me for the White Mountain Treasure Award. It's an honor and a privilege. The expression, "it takes a village," may seem cliche, but in the case of N68 Hours of Hunger, it couldn't be more true, and what a wonderful village we're all fortunate to be a part of. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mandy, and congratulations again, Karen. You know, you both do tremendous work. I know that my family has benefited from the Rattlesnakes program at Cranmore, as well as the ESCC program, and I appreciate all that work, and I've been a strong supporter of N68 Hours of Hunger, Mandy, you know, at least through some financial contributions, so we appreciate both of your efforts, and congratulations. So I'd now like to turn it back over to Janice, who is going to present a couple of more awards.
Usually at our annual meeting, we also recognize a Business of the Year and an Employer of the Year. And this year we decided that our entire business community deserved that award. The resilience that they have shown in dealing with this pandemic and making every effort to provide for their employees as best that they could. So a big shout out to our business community, our Valley, for being able to handle just one more challenge that we're coming out of on top of. So thank you very much to our business community. I also wanted to recognize our board members who are in the audience, in the Zoom audience. They're the ones with the beautiful background. And Christopher, as you well know, is our outgoing president, and very sad to have him be leaving. He's been a great mentor to me, taught me a lot about personal relationships and dealing with people. And has been in my corner for 6 years. So I want to thank you very much, Christopher, and I'm going to miss you, but I know that you're just a block away and a phone call or a text away. Also, you'll see Chuck Lloyd is in the audience. If you'll just raise your hand when I bring you up. Heather Clement. Chuck is from the White Mountain Community College. Heather is from Chalmers. Let's see, you met Catalina, Donna Pierce, Admiral Perry Inn, and Tom Caruso of the Northway Bank. Jessica DePietro is from Badger. Danielle Jones from Abenaki Trail Restaurant. And Andrew Pierce from Hastings Law Firm. Eric Diesick from Storyland. He's had quite the summer. Matt Sawyer is down there in the corner, at least on my screen, who is the town manager for the town of Ossipee. So I just wanted to recognize them. And and Rob Clark over there by Jessica. I just wanted to recognize them in the group. So this is usually the time where I recognize the, well, especially if it's the last year for the president, of which it is for Christopher. And I recognize his efforts and present him with an award, which I do have for you. And we'll have to go out to lunch or something when we start to get a little more out there in the world. But once again, I just want to thank you very much, Christopher, for 6 years of service to the chamber, and for being there, cheering us all on, and for so many of the things that you've created, your involvement with M&D, your starting of the Valley Pride recognition and event in the summer months, and running a very excellent business, starting a restaurant and selling that restaurant. You've just been a very busy man. So
don't forget, I'm currently Mr. Mount Washington Valley as well for Valley Promotions, you know, but.
Well, there you go, Mr. Mount Washington Valley. So I just want to recognize you for all of that, and thank you so very much for being there for the chamber and for me. And you know, you don't get to go away just yet. In fact, I do believe the bylaws state that the past president is on the e-board. Look at that face.
Has that been practiced for the past presidents?
Yeah, well, occasionally a past president will show up. So. So anyway, a big thank you to you, and you may close out the meeting if you like.
Well, I do appreciate it, Janice. I've appreciated working with you, and I've appreciated time and tenure as the president of the Mount Washington Valley Chamber of Commerce. And you know, Janice, if you ever need anything, you know where to find me, because like you said, I'm only a block away. And I usually don't hide from visitors, so. I hope that my time with the chamber, that I've been able to help bring about positive impact on the chamber as well as on the community. And, you know, that's generally my goal in everything that I do, is to try to make things better than it was when I first got involved. So I hope that we've achieved that. We live in a great community here, and I've appreciated all the partnership from you, Janice, from Michelle, from Paula, from Lisa, and Rebecca, and all the other staff that has served, as well as all the volunteers. And I won't name them all again, as you just did, Janice. So thank you to everybody for helping the past 6 years be successful. And we are only as strong as we are when we work together. And so I appreciate all the partnership from staff, volunteers, members, and the general community. We are great together, and thank you very much. And with that, I think I would like to close the meeting tonight and encourage everybody to vote. We have 1 week until Election Day, and regardless of what you think or feel, I think your voice needs to be heard, and we need to get out to the polls next Tuesday to vote, if you haven't already done that by absentee ballot. But it's super important this year to make sure that your opinions count. So with that, thank you very much, everybody, and have a great evening.